1. Good day, everyone, and welcome to today's Week 5 NFL preview here on LANGERR at the Mic Live. We are joined by Ryan Silver, as usual, on every Thursday. How's it going, Ryan?
I'm a little pissed.
Why are you a little pissed today? What's up?
This is our second take. On the first take, I tried to make a theme song on the spot for you, and he turned it off and said, "Don't do that." And now I'm mad.
Well, do it. Go, do it. Do it.
LANGERR on the mic, LANGERR on the mic. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Thank you. That was.
I didn't know you were actually going to put that little bit in at the end, but
That's why I said, "Why'd you cut me off, man?"
All right, from now on, I'll give you permission to do that. You got it.
I'll get the guitar going.
Yes, get the guitar going next time. For sure.
Next time.
But yeah, let's get right into this NFL Week 5 going on here. But we have a couple of things that we should, I guess, get out of the way first. Is COVID-19 is becoming a thing in the NFL right now.
What's COVID-19?
Coronavirus.
What's coronavirus? Okay, I'll stop.
It's a beer.
Oh, class! I'm down. Give me some COVID-19.
But yeah. So right now we have the Patriots and the Titans. First, obviously the Titans, but also the Patriots that are dealing with issues right now with COVID-19. Stephon Gilmore has tested positive this week. Cam Newton, obviously from the week before. I haven't really seen the update on Cam, but I know that Stephon Gilmore has tested positive this week, and he was also in the face of Patrick Mahomes right after the post game in the handshakes there. But I don't know if Patrick Mahomes has tested positive yet, but that's definitely a problem.
He likely wouldn't have, even if he got infected. He likely wouldn't have tested positive yet. Even if he has it, he likely would test positive within the next week or two. So I'm gonna go out and say it right now. The NFL should postpone all games for a few weeks. We have an outbreak. It is going to continue spreading. We should know by now, because we're intelligent human beings, not a bunch of dimwits.
Are we?
Well, that's fair. But that just because you don't have symptoms and just because you don't test positive within the first little while of being exposed doesn't mean you don't have it. It's not how this virus works, people. So when we find out a week from now that – who did Tennessee play the week before? It was
supposed to be Pittsburgh, and now it's supposed to –
Minnesota. When we next week – find out, well, if we find out next week that Minnesota had people get test positive for it, we're like, oh, well, like maybe they got it from the Titans, but it's okay because nobody in Houston tested positive, so we should let the Houston play the next game. No, that means Houston may have had people get infected, and it means we have to now let them play. And if we go back far enough, it means most of the games this week shouldn't be playing at all. I think it's preposterous that they're actually continuing it right now. This week should be postponed, and likely the next week as well. An outbreak is occurring. I'm not saying it's going to spread. I'm not going to make that statement, but it is clear that they have not contained it well enough. And Tennessee is a crap show right now. They are just people keep testing positive at the wazoo. And if the reports are true, if the reports are true that they held practice anyways, or they held team practice or whatever workouts anyways, Tennessee should, in my opinion, be reprimanded so harshly that they probably should not be allowed to play another game the rest of the year.
So I agree with you, but I disagree with you. I'm going to take a different angle on this. So like you said in that report that the Titans had a private practice at a high school facility and all that, if that's true, then I don't think you have to postpone games. You just have to force Tennessee to forfeit their game against maybe Pittsburgh, forfeit their game this week scheduled against the Bills, and punish them that way.
I'm in favor of that. I'd actually but these are people putting people's lives at risk. I would punish them even harder.
Because who cares? Okay, if you're trying to win a Super Bowl and you're 3-0 right now, like the Titans are, you don't care about draft picks. You don't care about the $100,000 fines. That's bupkis to these owners and general managers and front offices.
Take harsher repercussions than they did with Deflategate.
Exactly. So have them forfeit games. Why are you going to maneuver the entire complexity of an NFL schedule?
I don't know how, I don't know what the report, I'm not entirely certain of how many people practiced, because this could be punishing players that had nothing to do with it. Similar to what happened with Houston, I suppose, but Houston Astros, I should note. But how else is just to handle this? I mean, I think you either do one of two things. One, they forfeit those games, which actually is pretty fair in my opinion at this point. Only because they broke protocol. If they didn't break protocol, I wouldn't punish them.
Like, it's so ridiculous at this point. I mean, New England is a
Coaches,
problem
the
right now.
coaches should be suspended.
Exactly. But here's the thing. But here's the thing. New England, right? They had Cam test positive. They had Stephon Gilmore test positive, and I don't know if they had many other players test positive, and they have reacted, or they've at least, I don't know if they've had the opportunity to really react to it, but they haven't let it just completely get blown up.
Yeah,
and also
that New England played that game last week is preposterous too.
And when
NFL's handling this horribly.
But still the fact that that Houston hasn't had any issues within their locker room and hasn't had any outbreaks, in their organization, their front office, and their locker room. But Tennessee still, to this day, this is almost 2 weeks later, is still getting positive tests. And if it's because they went behind the NFL's back to have their own private practices, well, at that point, it's not about, forget about fines, forget about draft picks. Have them forfeit games, because that's unacceptable.
Yeah,
you're not gonna
although we have to keep in mind.
And just keep the NFL schedule going as is. But Tennessee, you lose to Buffalo. Tennessee, you lose to Pittsburgh. You're now 3-2, and the NFL season rolls on.
They could be unrelated diagnosis. So it's like,
but if this was the case, hang on. If this was the case, and they were not holding private practices, like if they were following COVID protocol and shutting down their facilities and doing everything right, but still having players test positive, well, that's more within the organization. Maybe, okay, is this player not social distancing from their families, or is each individual player not following COVID protocol? And then deal with those players individually, or those coaches or staff members individually. But if the team is going behind the NFL's back and holding private practices, forfeit games. End of story. You're now 3-1, 3-2, whatever it is. NFL should do their investigation, figure out, is it one game that they should suspend or have them forfeited, 2 games? But that's what the discussion should be now. Have Tennessee forfeit games.
We're on the same page there. I think it's absolutely
disgusting
100% what's happening. This Bills game better not happen. I know it's a good matchup again. It's just to add insult to injury. It's like Tennessee was 4-0 playing a 4-0 team, and now they're going to miss a 5-0 team. So it's like, 3-0.
No, they're basically, if they don't play these two, like
3-0, and then
they have played 3 games, and most other teams will have played 5, except for the teams on bye, which are Green Bay and Detroit this week.
Yeah, it's going to be a little strange. And the way the NFL is going to have to fix it again, this weekend should not happen. And they should have taken action already. They could have said Tampa Bay, Chicago is not happening tonight. They should have, in my opinion. I know there's a lot more towards it.
I don't think they have to go that far. I think it's just more about, because the other teams, you haven't had any.
Go that far.
But you haven't had any outbreaks in other teams yet, though. You haven't had outbreaks.
It doesn't mean you won't. Now, to be fair,
true, but
you
still
should be starting to see results around this time with Houston. However, you cannot take that chance. You cannot take that chance whatsoever. It is, you are expected. There is an expected delay, and it's like it blows my mind that people in charge don't seem to get it by now. It's like, but I feel like that's something that the NFL failed or should have done and failed to do in the off season. What they should have done is allowed. Absolutely. Why are we? They should have had
maybe
teams?
3 or 4 bye weeks, or 3 or 4 kind of off
this
weeks.
Isn't
just
baseball.
Exactly.
It's like, you see what happened to baseball and how many games they had to postpone? Couldn't they look and say, wait a second, if we have to postpone 1 game, that's just destroys our schedule. Look at what happened in baseball. Look at how many teams had to miss on games and change it. And in baseball had difficulty fixing it. Baseball had difficulty on isolating and catching up on games, but they did it. Because
baseball, you can play double headers. Baseball, you can shrink games from 9 innings to 7 innings. NFL, you can't play double headers. You can't play back-to-back nights
and not address this. How could they possibly think that they could not do this in a bubble? I do not see this NFL season finishing. I hope
you couldn't have had, I don't think, an entire season of bubble, because it's a lot to ask these players to be in a bubble for 5 months almost, like from training camp. August, September, October, November, December, January, February. You're talking about almost 7 months of being in a bubble, and that's a lot.
It's on their own free will and accord, man. It's up to them. If they say yes, yes. I know you're going to lose out some superstars because of it.
Maybe so. Here's what should maybe happen is, maybe if you somehow get to week 15, week 16, week 17, then consider, okay, the last month, 2 months, we're doing a bubble. But for
Actually, in
now,
my opinion, they should have skipped out on the bye week and had an extra week open for if needed for games to be added.
or in the middle of the season or something. There are ways, obviously, to go about that. But yeah, but at this point, right now, I think the best that the NFL can do is just put the hammer down on the Tennessee Titans and start having them forfeit games,
Yep.
because it's ridiculous the way that they're just completely mishandling this. And at least so far, the Patriots, given what the cards that they've been dealt, and also the fact the Patriots had a bunch of players opt out for them in the first place, the Patriots and Bill Belichick, of course, like, look, honestly, give them credit for doing, I think, the best that they can be doing in with their situation. But the Titans is just ridiculous at this point that they're still having players test positive. But anyway, that being said, we have a game tonight between the Chicago Bears and the Tampa Bay Bucks. So let's get right into that. Who are you picking in this one, and why?
So, I think I learned my lesson by predicting too many underdogs in 1 week. Nick
Oh yeah,
Foles
you're 7-7 last week. I went 9-5, by the way.
well, I
So
went
let's get that on the record.
predictions, and I don't regret a thing. I took my picks and I stand by them. Chicago, look, you had Trubisky. You made the genius decision to finally say goodbye to him and go with Nick Foles. And then Nick Foles, well, he basically did a Trubisky impersonation last week. I don't think he's as bad as he played last week. Whether or not his streak in Philadelphia was in fact just a streak for the ages, I guess that's to be seen. I don't have a lot of faith in him beating Tampa Bay, though. Like, I could see them pulling some upsets, but man, after Tom Brady with his 5-touchdown game, even without his top 2 receivers for like half of the game, impressive stuff, man. I like what I'm seeing from Tampa. Yeah, it's exactly what you expected to see. It sucks that they lost OJ Howard, but they do have they have 2 backup tight ends there now. So it's like, well, now they just have a 2 tight end formation. So rather than having 3 not formation, but you know what I mean, depth chart. But I'd like to see David Montgomery play at the level that we expected him to in his rookie year last year, which he never did, and he still hasn't yet. I blame a lot of the offense. It's just his situation in Chicago. Who is their offensive coordinator?
Chicago?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Matt. Well, Matt Nagy's the one calling the plays, I'm pretty sure. Right. Is it not? I think so.
I think you're right.
I'll look that up. You finish, I'll look it
up. I don't have a lot of faith in him. They just look terrible on the offense for a few years now. And I know Trubisky was a large part of that, but they can't seem to get anything going. And again, when your defense is as elite as it is, you could afford to have a non-top tier offense, but you're not going to win a Super Bowl with the offense running the way it is. Or if you miss, a 31-yard field goal, throwbacks. But yeah, so like I'd like to see Chicago play better. I'd like to see Allen Robinson play better. I'd like to see Anthony Miller not put up goose eggs. I'd like to see this defense win deservedly, but like
it's Bill Lazor, the offensive coordinator, by the way, for the Bears.
Well, okay, thank you.
Yeah,
I don't have a lot of faith in him. I don't know anything about him other than the fact that he's
look. And to me, I love your over analysis on some of these games, by the way. But to me, this is really simple. The Chicago Bears are probably one of the most fraudulent 3-1 teams in the league right now, and they played their first real opponent in the Indianapolis Colts last week, and it showed. They lost 19-11, and they're playing another real opponent in the Tampa Bay Bucks right now, and they will lose. The Tampa Bay Bucks will look. Tom Brady will keep rolling. He's clearly, he's Tom Brady. I think he's not the best of all time, but he's still like up there. I mean, I don't think he's as good as that. Could be a whole other video in itself, but I just think that Tom Brady's still one of the greatest of all time. Because I just don't think he's there. I don't think he's better than Manning and Rodgers and all that. But anyway, that's a whole other video that we can make. But point is, Tampa Bay Bucks, they take care of business. Chicago defense will challenge them a little bit, but give me Tampa 26-10.
I got 27-17. Tampa
Pretty much the same thing. All right, so let's move on now to Atlanta. The 0-4 Atlanta Falcons playing the Carolina Panthers. This could go either way, but I think I'm gonna take Atlanta in this one. I think Atlanta's finally gonna win a game here. I think it's
Okay.
about time. Who do you got?
Wow.
Are you gonna stay on the Carolina bandwagon?
Yes. I feel
That's probably a
bad.
wise choice in this one, but I just think that Atlanta is due to win with those, with Matt Ryan and Todd Gurley and Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley and
Look,
Russell Gage.
if
Something's got to
Atlanta
give.
had Chicago's record and Chicago had Atlanta's record, I'd be like, yeah, that's fair.
Oh yeah,
Um,
100%.
because Atlanta's not that bad of a team. Well, they're not supposed to be, but then they don't jump at a football and an onside kick. They allow, double-digit comebacks with like 5 minutes left. It's tough to watch. It is tough to watch. No, they lost to Chicago, didn't they? That's right. One of them comebacks was Chicago. So it's just like, it's just weird, man. They could be 2-2 easily. They could be competing easily, but
They also have like a lot of injuries in their secondary right now. Like they have no one starting at safety for them right now.
yeah, their defense is tough. And their offense just hasn't showed up as much as they should in the last.
Like they have a decent front seven. Like they like between Grady Jarrett and Tack McKinley and Dante Fowler and I forget that linebacker's name. The
Forgot Fowler was there.
who like yeah, well, like they have a
Neil.
Neil's the same. I think Neil's out with an injury, but yeah, but they have an okay front seven. It's just their secondary right now is just completely ravaged by injury. So,
Yep.
But that being said, I just think that they're due to win one, and I got to give them the win here. I mean, Carolina's 2-0, I think, without Christian McCaffrey, but give me Atlanta. Give me Atlanta in a shootout, and they get things done 37-35. 37-35.
I have 32-31 Carolina Panthers.
Let's go. All right. On to Baltimore now. We have the Ravens taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Baltimore.
Does this need much discussion?
I mean, Joe Burrow's still.
Joe Burrow looks good.
Joe Burrow's great, but Joe Burrow can't play defense, and he can't stop Lamar Jackson and J.K. Dobbins and Hollywood Brown and Mark Andrews and all that. So the Chiefs can apparently.
You named two people that I care about there, and then the rest were all just like, well, we're on the same team as Lamar Jackson. It's like Joe. Look, Cincinnati fans, be happy. You got a future. This kid looks good. Your Higgins looks pretty good too. Mixon,
AJ Green. I'm just saying they have decent. They have a good offense there in Cincinnati. They have something to build on.
AJ Green did he?
Not
did
sure.
He put up, I think he put up an offer. But
he's still AJ Green.
He's not.
Is that what he used to be?
Like legally, his name is still AJ Green. Yes.
Yes.
Physically, metaphysically, he is still the essence of that is AJ
His
Green.
full name is Ariel Jeremiah Green. Yes.
Thank you. I didn't even know that. But is he AJ Green from 2017? No. Is he 2016 AJ Green? No. 2015? No. I forget when he came in the league, but it's gonna be a
2011. I think it was a 2011 draft. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's none of those. He doesn't look good. He's been missing catches that he used to make. He's not running routes very well. It's unfortunate. I hate it because I loved AJ Green. I was big on him this year. I was wrong. AJ's done. I am throwing the towel on AJ.
But Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, like you said, but Baltimore, Lamar Jackson,
or Floyd. Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd. And I mean Joe Mixon, he either is the best running back that week or the worst. So I mean, we'll see if that can if you can get a little more consistent as the year goes along. But give me Baltimore on this one, handedly, 35-24.
Yeah, I could say the same thing. I'll say about 38, 27.
Actually, make that 35-17. I don't think Cincinnati's going to have much of a chance on that.
I'll give them 38 to I said 27. Okay, yeah, 38-27. I'm cool with
next.
that. Or actually 38-23. But yeah, next. Let's go next. Doesn't really.
Our listeners.
Houston Texans hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Houston's not going to go in 5, are they?
So I was listening. I forget what his name is. White guy that makes really, really opinionated and controversial takes. Sports announcer.
I mean, if we're talking about the same guy here, I'm not going to mention his name on the show, but yeah.
Okay. Listen.
Is he the one that made the statement about Dak and all that? Are we that
Probably.
guy or someone
I think
else?
so. I think you did.
Okay,
Um,
whatever. But we're not mentioning his name on the
the
show.
Miami Dolphins. I forgot. I can't believe I forgot this. Have Houston's first pick next
Of
year.
course.
Houston's 0-4. Houston has a worse record.
Miami's gonna like have 2 top 10 picks next year.
Potentially two
Top
top
five.
five, right? Let's go, fins up, baby. So, I have to do everything in my power to not be biased when I'm looking at games and say they're gonna win. They're gonna win. But Bill O'Brien's gone for a reason, because man, that team looks like they're struggling, and I don't know. They got rid of. I make this joke every week, but I'm gonna make it one more time. They got rid of this receiver that I hear was pretty good. Um,
He like might be an all pro or something.
yeah, may or may not be the best receiver in the
Yeah.
league. And in return, they got a guy that was once a top 5 back for half a season, and then got hurt 2 years in a row, and has since done okay. I'm not gonna take anything away from D Johnson. He's been good. He hasn't been bad. He's played some of the best defenses too, to keep it fair. So I like to see what he's gonna do when he plays some mediocre defenses. I don't think I consider Jacksonville's defense mediocre, but I like to see him play some mediocre defenses.
So are you taking Jacksonville in this one?
Yeah. I like Gardner. I think what we saw against him in Miami was gross, and then they looked pretty good last game, and then they sucked. But I don't see Houston bouncing back this game. I don't see them going over the rest of the season. I see them winning at least 3 games at minimum. I can't see them putting up less than that with Deshaun on their team.
So
But I don't think this is the game they win. I don't think Deshaun has ever played well against Jacksonville, although that's not really relevant because the defense is very different now. Yeah, I got Jacksonville in a full bowl in like you told me don't fart on stream, and I just made a fart noise.
Yeah, you can sometimes, as long as you don't actually fart. But anyway,
I'm going 19-14 Jacksonville.
Here's the thing. I actually heard a story.
24-14
Jacksonville. 24-14. Okay, I actually heard a story that it was JJ Watt that in the middle of practice last week or 2 weeks ago is the one that said, like, just completely called out Bill O'Brien, saying you ain't worth you know what, and you're a terrible whatever coach.
Yeah, but
he's like, he's not wrong. But I think that Houston just has
worth the dimple on your chin. Like, I have a butt chin too. I can't make fun of him too much.
But
it's just grosser.
But just I think Houston has too many guys with just, JJ Watt, Deshaun. I mean, throwing their receivers, they're not great, but they're okay. Like Will Fuller, Randall Cobb, and all that. But they have too many guys. Like just Deshaun Watson, JJ Watt in themselves. Mm-hmm. I think they will not let this team get to 0-5. They will rally behind. Who's taking over Bill O'Brien? Like who's taking the coaching duties? I'm going to look that up, and we'll come back to that. But, yeah, I just think that they're going to rally together and they're going to not let Houston go 0-5. Give me Houston in a bit of a shootout here. Let's say 27-24. Houston. Okay. 27-24 exactly Houston.
A little bit of a shootout.
Like just before, on the cusp of a shootout. On the cusp of it. Because I don't know if they're going to still be able to protect Deshaun, but I think Deshaun's still going to do things that will help them win. So, yeah, 27-24 Houston. Now we're going to Kansas City where the Chiefs take on the Raiders. Chiefs. Done.
Yeah, I'm not really thinking twice if this game happens. I don't know if this game's going to happen. Considering what just happened in New England, the NFL, even if they get no positive results between now and the game, should not have this game run. It's not how the disease works. Stop being stupid.
But if this game happens, Chiefs. I agree. Yeah. Like I partially agree with you, but if it happens, Chiefs.
If this game happens, Chiefs. But it's not going to be a shootout. The Chiefs' offense has been, I don't know, pumping the brakes a little bit. I don't think this is a game where they just go right back into acceleration. Wow, that's an interesting face you're making there, Mike.
Because they played Bill Belichick. They were on fire through 3 games. Okay,
Oh
maybe
yeah,
not
you're
the
right. I'm
Chargers,
sorry. They
but they
put up 20
played.
points against the Chargers, didn't they? No, wait, they didn't. I forgot. Sorry.
I'm just saying they played Bill
The Chargers are a decent
Belichick's
defense too.
defense. I don't know if the Raiders, like the Raiders, are an okay defense, not a great defense. I wouldn't say, are they?
I'd put them at okay, absolutely.
But just Chiefs, give me Chiefs in this one, 33-20.
No, I got Chiefs. I got Chiefs 24-17.
So we both got Chiefs. So, and I think we'll both agree in this one as well. We got the Arizona Cardinals going to the Meadowlands to take on the Jets. Cardinals.
Yeah, but this is actually I'm actually not confident at all. I don't like what I've seen with Arizona. The Jets are again the favorite for going 0-16 for me this year, but with Le'Veon Bell coming back, I am not immediately gonna dismiss this as a bounce back game.
As long as Adam, as long as, sorry to interrupt you, but to me, as long as Adam Gase is coaching that team, they got nothing. And
Yeah,
I picked them twice. I picked them twice, and I was wrong twice, so I ain't picking them again.
right,
Simple.
right. I mean, I have them. I have Arizona, but not confident. I have Arizona 27-20.
And don't get me wrong, I want to see the Jets do well. I want to see the Jets,
Nope.
be good. I know you
Nope.
don't, but I do.
Yep.
I'm not in your division,
Nope.
but I have family that are Jets fans, and I'm going to keep mentioning them. So, and also Rich Eisen, of course, one of my favorite broadcasters. Rich Eisen is also a Jets fan.
He chooses
So
to be a Jets fan, and that's his fault. Fins up.
but he was born in New York City.
Still
he was
a
born in
choice.
Brooklyn.
Still
So.
a choice.
Anyway, give me Cardinals, and just give me Cardinals.
Could have chosen the Giants.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean now. Okay, but
Also,
so.
who could have just chosen any other sports team because
Pretty much. But anyway, just give me Cardinals 44, Jets 13. Done.
Okay. Done.
Here's an interesting one. We got Philadelphia, a battle of
Ooh.
Pennsylvania here. We have the Eagles taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ooh.
This is a game that the Eagles have typically won in the past. Will they
Yeah.
this time? Like the Eagles, I think have won the last 3 or 4 games against Pittsburgh.
Sure, they're not doing it this time.
I agree. Yeah. By the way, we both picked them. We both picked San Francisco last week, and we are both wrong in that game against the Eagles. But I just think Pittsburgh they're going to keep it going, even though they did. Wait, they didn't play last week, yeah, because they had the Titans matchup.
But
so
now, again, blessing in disguise. Now Deontay Johnson's all healthy again. So.
yeah, and also they had that's essentially a bye week for them last week, so they're rested. And I think Mike Tomlin is a good enough coach to not let rust take over rest.
Mike Tomlin the guy that's never lost after a bye week, or is that Bill?
I think that was Andy Reid or Bill Belichick. One of those guys. I don't think that's Mike Tomlin, but still Mike Tomlin's a good enough coach to not let rust take over rest. So give me the Steelers in this one. They'll put up, let's say 27-20.
I got a number coming in here. They're 9-4 following a bye week. Okay, it's not.
Wait, do you pick these games with a random number generator? Okay, just making sure.
I got 31-13 Pittsburgh. Absolutely.
Okay. And the last 1 o'clock game on schedule, we have the football team in Washington taking on the LA Rams. Pretty simple, LA Rams.
Yes, but we do have a fun one this time.
Yes, because not Alex Smith, but Kyle Allen will be starting for the football team.
So sad. I thought they'd make the right choice. It's okay. Kyle Allen's going to throw 3 interceptions, and they're going to put Alex Smith in. And it's going to be.
So I don't think Dwayne Haskins is even going to dress for this game, is he not?
He is the 3rd string quarterback. He probably will.
No, because they might not put him on the 46. You dress 46 on game day, and he might not be on the 46.
What a deserving downfall, dude. He's looked terrible in all aspects of the game. He's just been terrible.
I mean, but in his defense, I mean, look, he was drafted in the first, he was a top 15 pick by at the time, the Redskins, but now the football team. He was a top 15 pick, and he was going in a system where Jay Gruden had worn out his welcome, and just not and Dan Snyder's your owner. So, you're already kind of not in a good place, but yeah, just it is what it is. And he's just has not lived up to the expectations of being a top 15 pick, and sucks for him. But look, we'll see if he bounces back. I don't know if he will this season, but yeah, just look, Rams
Speaking
pretty
about bounce
easily.
back, we're gonna have a bounce back game from the Rams this week.
I think the Rams are not going to get to 30 because
No, they won't.
Washington still has a good front seven and they could still get after Jared Goff. So give me still the Rams, let's say 26, football team 13.
They do have a good front seven, but I still think they're gonna hit 30. I got the section. A really fun game because Kyle Allen makes games fun. That's like one thing I'll give him. He's not good, but he's like a Jameis Winston style where he'll throw that ball. He'll throw a lot of picks, but man, he'll throw far, and that's cool to watch. That's fun to watch, and that's gonna be really interesting for Terry McLaurin to see. Man, finally with a quarterback that could throw the ball even moderately decently, gonna be exciting. Can't wait for Alex Smith to play though. 34-29 Rams.
34. Okay. So now we go to the 4 o'clock window. Yes, starting with your Miami Dolphins going to the West Coast to take on the walking wounded San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, so like
All due
if this
respect.
was the actual San Francisco 49ers, I would be taking San Fran in a heartbeat. It's not. It's a very, very damaged and depleted one that couldn't get past the Eagles last week. But yeah, what was the final score in the Eagles? Do you know?
It was 25-20.
Yeah, right. So it's like they don't look good, and I don't blame them for not looking good.
Are they going to start CJ Beathard or Nick Mullins?
They are starting Beathard as far as I understand. And now Mullins looked so good up until that game. I was talking about how this guy looks like a competent, decent quarterback. And then, man, I don't know what happened that game. He looked bad. He looked real bad. But I look, the Dolphins put up a game against Seattle. I know the score doesn't look like it, but man, the defense held Seattle in check almost the entire game. They had a fourth quarter breakdown at the very end, and a bad turnover. And the Dolphins had a chance at that game. Like that, the Dolphins it was a close match up until the fourth quarter. Like that was no blowout. That was no Seattle making a fool of the Dolphins. The Dolphins held up their ground, and they still are without Byron Jones. I think Byron's coming back this week finally. I got the Dolphins, and this isn't like a long shot at this point. This is like a confident. I truly believe the Dolphins are going to win this game. I got the Dolphins 25. No, wait, no, I can't say 25. Actually, you know what? Repeating the score, 25-20. We're going with it.
You actually, at first, I was thinking, you know what, despite how banged up San Fran is, and despite the fact that who knows if they start Beathard and then Nick Mullins will replace Beathard, or vice versa. Or maybe Beathard will start, Nick Mullins will come in, but then Beathard will go back in. Who knows? So that being said, you've convinced me. I'm going to jump on your fins up train. Let's go Miami Dolphins in this one. Give me also kind of an ugly score, 26-18. An ugly score, 26-18. Yeah. Give me like maybe one or two missed extra points or like a safety or something.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's not ugly. That's fun. Woo!
Well, that's, you get ugly scores from fun outcomes, I guess. But yeah, give me Miami in this one.
Here's
Now,
up.
stay on the West Coast or close to the West Coast. We got Denver visiting New England. This game is also in question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to pick this right now, or let's just say New England? Happen. If it happens, New England. If it doesn't, then
it should not happen. And if it does, man, I didn't even consider boycotting and not watching that game. Like that is just disgusting. Although it's not going to make any difference for the dollar. Like it's not going to make any difference in the world. But I encourage everybody not to watch that game because that's just disgusting if that game still happens. Denver versus New England. I mean, it's going to be New England. I don't see Denver winning any game anytime soon. They need Drew Lock back. Is he back? He's not back, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think he's back.
The Broncos, of all the teams that have suffered injuries, like I think the Broncos have just completely been the most I'm going back to training camp, not just during the regular season. Broncos have been the most unfortunate injury riddled team.
Can we talk about freaking Von Miller though? I read a report that he's gonna try to come back this year.
But should he come back if the Broncos are 0-8 by middle of the season? Man, should Von Miller come back to that?
That's a story. He's trying to shoot for like mid-December, like actually get a game in before or two in before playoffs, which they won't make. But
he's an all-pro. Yeah, he's an all-pro and a half. Like
that guy is a role model and a half. He's a good human being. He's nice. He's fun, and damn, is he a good football player. He's a smart football player too, man. Love watching that guy play. My heart broke when I saw him when I heard about the news about him. I would love to see him. Even if as long as it's safe to, if he could safely come back on the field this year, I would love to see him. I would
Mhm.
I would stand up and cheer for that guy.
So this game will happen though.
It's not gonna happen.
No,
But when
this
it
game will happen. The
hold
Cleveland
on, hold on.
Browns.
We gotta get some predictions here.
If like I don't really like you said, if we're gonna talk about boycotting it, I'm just gonna say Patriots.
I got
If it
Patriots
does happen, the Patriots will win.
27-16, but Patriots. But either way.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna give a score because I don't know if it's gonna happen or not. But now this is kind of a prime time game. The Cleveland Browns hosting the Indianapolis Colts at 4:25.
Yeah.
Is that the game that Nance and Romo are gonna do?
I hope
I'm
so.
curious.
I hope so. I
Because
love.
put
I
it
love
this way,
me
if
some Robo.
because here's the thing, the Cowboys and Giants also play at 4:25. But if you're a football fan, watch this game. Watch
you
the
watch
Browns
the-
and the Colts. Don't watch the
that
Cowboys
boy-
and
you don't
Giants.
watch that
Watch the
boy,
Colts.
Cowboys fans.
And I'm telling you, as a Cowboys fan, watch the Browns Colts game. Don't watch the Cowboys Giants game.
Yeah, it's just.
If you're just a
watch-
generic football fan, of course.
Absolutely, it's actually looks like a great game. We got a top off, like we got a what I believe is a top offense at this point versus the top defense.
So you know, actually, let's come back to that. And it's just in a sec. We'll talk. Let's talk Cowboys Giants first. Just get that over with.
Okay.
And I'll just make this very simple. If the Cowboys cannot beat Jason Garrett, Joe Judge, and the 0-4 New York Giants, the Dallas Cowboys should be exiled from the NFL. Mike McCarthy, Mike Nolan, fired. Dak Prescott,
They are
cut.
no longer America's team. They are now Canada's team or something.
Yeah, sorry, I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd cut that. Like, yeah, I'm not saying
exile's
cut
good.
that.
Like it's good.
But
Exile is
the
America's team.
Cowboys should be exiled from the NFL if they can't beat the sorry, pathetic, just terrible New York Giants. The Cowboys, however, might be missing Tyron Smith at left tackle for the rest of the season. That's a story that broke today. He's having setbacks with his neck issue. So right now, health over on-field performance and importance
Dallas
to the
doesn't
team.
look great.
So for Dallas, but Dallas has reinforcements, maybe coming back on defense with Anthony Brown and Leighton Vander Esch, maybe coming back. But again, I don't care if we're playing defense to the Cowboys. That Giants team is pathetic. The Cowboys lose. They should be exiled from the NFL. Give me the Cowboys 35-20. Done.
Okay. So I had a dream that I was watching the game with you and the Giants pulverized.
Was that game from 2007 or 2005?
No, it was this year. And
was it week 17 when there's nothing to play for?
Also, the Dolphins were fighting the Jets for a playoff spot. So clearly my dreams are messed up. I'm not going with my dreams. I got Dallas in an absolute annihilation, 41-19. Their defense sucks, but know it sucks more. New York's entire team.
That's just like to me, like just one more thing about this game, like as a Giants fan or as a front office, how can you possibly be okay going into a regular season with Joe Judge as your head coach, with Jason Garrett as your offensive coordinator, with Daniel Jones as your quarterback, with your two top weapons being Sterling Shepard and Evan Ingram, with no offensive line, with Saquon, sure, but now he's out. But how can you be okay with that?
I have an answer. You are a fan of a New York football team.
There you go. I'm saying, like, I'm just talking from the Giants front office standpoint. How can you be okay with going into a regular season like that?
The front office is a joke. That's why.
Yeah, this at least I feel the Jets are ahead of the Giants because they could draft Trevor Lawrence. They got the draft overhaul from the Seahawks.
Of the Giants because they're below the Giants.
No. I'm saying, like, in terms of their rebuild process, like they're at least they can like they can get they can hit on the picks that they got from the Seahawks, the Jamal Adams trade. Sam Darnold is a much better quarterback. Even in a broken Sam Darnold is a much better quarterback than Daniel Jones.
I don't agree to that.
100%. And I just think that, and even if they get Trevor Lawrence, they should take Trevor Lawrence if they go first overall. They should absolutely draft Trevor Lawrence and trade Sam Darnold. I don't think
Jones
they should.
Has been absolute dog crap this year.
Yeah. But the Giants right now, they're in a position where they were hoping, like, their stupid front office thought that it was a good idea to build their team around Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Jason Garrett, Joe Judge. So I think so the Giants are, like, at the point where they have to come back to rebuilding. So anyway, I don't want to spend too much time talking about that. Let's just move on to the Browns and the Colts. I even why Devontae Freeman would want to sign with them. I mean, I guess if there's a guy looking for a job and that's the opportunity that comes your way, have at it.
I have a couple million answers for you. That's a joke. It's because they paid him millions.
There
I
you
don't
go.
remember the
Fair.
exact.
Okay.
What was the exact number? Do you know?
I don't know, but let's just go to the Browns Colts game because we should talk more about this game. Watch this game, not the Cowboys Giants game at 4:25. Baker Mayfield, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb is going to be out unfortunately with that injury they suffered in the Dallas game.
1.3 million US.
1.3 million US. All right, I guess that's a good amount of money to play football for the pathetic New York Giants. But anyway,
oh, you could pay me a tenth of that, I'd do it.
Oh yeah, 100%. But anyway,
actually, that's a lie. I don't know if I.
Let's just talk about this Browns Colts game. Let's give more airtime to this Browns Colts game because if we're telling people to watch it, we better as well talk about it. So, who do you have in this one? Because I have to think about this a little bit. Who do you have?
I got a nail biter. I got I got at least one defensive touchdown from Indianapolis. But then I got a really fun offense. Cleveland's offense is fun to watch. And don't get me wrong, they're missing Nick Chubb, but Dearness came in and did a decent job. And Kareem Hunt is, okay, I'm gonna go out there and say it again. I don't know if I said this on the stream before, but I think Kareem Hunt's a better back than Nick Chubb. I don't think by a lot. I just think they have two of the top backs in the NFL. So the fact that Kareem Hunt now gets to shine, I think we're gonna remember what kind of a superstar he really was before he, kicked a lady in the face. That was just rough to watch. But whatever. In the past, Corona has happened. Politics. I forgot all about it by now. I haven't forgot it. I can still see it in my dreams. It's brutal, man. Why'd you do that? But he's a really good running back. He's a really, really good running back. So as crazy as this sounds, losing Nick Chubb is not season ending for that team. And they'll get him back for the playoffs most likely. So I like what this offense is still going to be able to do. If they can keep that trickery going on, it's really cool to see what they could do with Odell and Jarvis. And it's just a fun offense to watch. On the other hand, we got Indy. Phillip Rivers. But...
So on that line, so if I may interrupt, the way I see this matchup is you have two teams that are essentially mirrors of each other because you have both of them have good offensive weapons, good offensive personnel, and good coaching. I think Stefanski deserves a lot of credit for the job that he's done so far. I'm gonna get to that. So you have Kevin Stefanski on one hand, Frank Reich on the other hand. Both good weapons. Michael Pittman, T.Y. Hilton for Indy. Strong offensive line for Indy. Decent offensive line for Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, Kareem Hunt. Decent defenses, good front seven in Cleveland, good front seven in Indy. But here's the one thing in common that they have is that their weakness / wild card / who knows what's going to happen is at quarterback between Baker Mayfield and Phillip Rivers. God knows which Baker Mayfield or which Phillip Rivers is going to show up on any given week. So that's why this game really could go either way.
The Phillip Rivers is now a check down quarterback that plays like Tom Brady-esque. But he does a bad Brady impression, but he attempts to be Brady, where he doesn't throw the ball very well down the field. He doesn't really throw it down the field that often. And he just dumps it down to talented receivers and hope they do something. Unfortunately, T.Y. is not having a great year. Apparently, he just doesn't play well without Andrew Luck anymore. Or Peyton Manning.
Did Peyton ever play with T.Y. Hilton? I don't know.
Yeah.
Did they? I don't think so.
Oh, no, you're right. Did I say Peyton? My bad. It was just Andrew.
Jacoby Brissett?
Yeah, it was just.
Yeah. No, it's Andrew Luck and Jacoby Brissett that played with T.Y. Hilton.
Why is he good? Well, no, I think he did get a year with Peyton.
I don't think so. I
could be wrong. You're right. Regardless, he's a good receiver that's just not playing the way he used to. Another receiver that's just sad to watch at this point.
He has had a lot of injuries over the years, though, also.
Yeah, but you're underrating that Indianapolis defense. In my opinion, they're the best defense in the league right now. And you can see it on the numbers they're putting up. And they are.
But they've played the Jets and they've played the Bears. You have to consider that.
Yes.
They gave up a lot to the Jags. You have 27 points to the Jags. I don't know. They're a good defense. I'm not saying they're not a good defense.
I will concede that they could be inflated. This is a good check test, and I don't think they're going to pass it. I don't think they're going to pass this gut check here. I got Cleveland winning this one, 31-28 in a nail biter.
Me too. I'm going to take Cleveland this one as well. I've made my decision.
Man, Cleveland going
Cleveland
to
just
3-1. Wow,
yeah,
what a life we're
4-1.
living.
They're gonna go to 4-1 if
Sorry,
they win
4-1. I
this.
meant to say, man.
Give me Cleveland in this one, 30 to 24. 30 to 24 is a good score.
31-28.
Or you know, even 30-23. I'll go 30-23. Cleveland. Yeah. On a Sunday night football between the Seattle Seahawks and Minnesota Vikings. I think it's pretty obvious how we go Seattle here. It's good. It's a good matchup, fun matchup, but I just think
Everybody's taking them as a hard lock, and I actually would avoid this game if I.
I'm not saying it. Oh, I'm not saying it's a hard lock.
Cool. Obviously, I just say Seattle for another week if you have them still. I think this game is going to be really close. I don't think that Seattle's going to run away with this one, and I am still going to take Seattle to have the edge and win it. But after seeing like what Seattle did, like again, Seattle is a top tier team. They are a Super Bowl caliber team. Minnesota was underperforming at the start of the year. I think we're starting to see, even the last few games, even though they didn't win them all, they started playing a lot better football. I don't think they're gonna be able to stop the Seattle offense because nobody can. But I think Minnesota's offense is gonna be able to hold up with Seattle's, which is quite frankly bad defense at this point. I think we have a really fun football game. But it's not going to be this blowout. I think it's going to be a nice back and forth. I got Seattle 38-35.
And you also have to mention Justin Jefferson for Minnesota, of course. He's come on,
awesome
big time.
He's
a guy that the Eagles could have taken. They could have traded up and taken CeeDee Lamb, or they could have taken Justin Jefferson. The Eagles could have, but who would they take instead? Jalen Reagor. We could be. Hey, this could change next year and a couple of years from now because obviously it's only the rookie season, but. Justin Jefferson, man. I got him in fantasy. I'm starting him this week. He's not going to be on my bench anymore, man. I tell you. He's
Justin Jefferson, especially in this matchup.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, hell,
I'm out again, I think. So absolutely. He full speed ahead.
So the Vikings, like you said,
wide receiver 1 this week.
Yeah. So they have underperformed absolutely in the first couple of games. I mean, they ran into Aaron Rodgers. There's another pathetic game that they had where Kirk had like 103 yards passing. Who did they play in that game? Who they lose to again that game? Week 2. We'll look that up real quick. Let's see how quick we can look it up. Minnesota, they lost to. I'm gonna blow this. Do I have it? Oh, damn it! I'll come back. Oh, they lost to the Colts. Actually, they lost to the Colts, 20-11. That's when, Kirk Cousins just had a pathetic game. They couldn't get the. They couldn't.
It was barely good though.
Yeah, that too. But so again, it'll be a back and forth game, like you said, but Seattle will prevail because Minnesota still has a young, up and coming, just not really great secondary yet. They can, get experience and become better, sure, but right now, just it ain't quite it yet. Give me an absolute shootout. Russ Cooks 38-28. 38-28.
This is me cooking. This is me eating up the predictions.
All your pasta and your meat sauce that you make all the time.
I don't make meat sauce.
Tomato sauce, sure. So give me 38.
Get it right, Mike.
God. You know what? Even 38-35. But 38-35 for Minnesota.
What are you doing to me here, man? That's my prediction.
Was that your actually prediction?
Yo, copycat. Freaking come on.
Okay, so I'll say 40-37.
No.
38-35 it is. We both said it. Fine. All right. Let me get back to week 5 now. The last game, the Monday night game we have is the LA Chargers going to the Big Easy, taking on the Saints. This could be, look, logic says Saints, they're 7.5-point favorites. Mm-hmm. But if Derek Carr can come back and upset the Saints in Las Vegas, I don't see why Justin Herbert can't do it.
Yeah, I was actually really, really close to taking the upset here. I am going to lean Saints only for one reason, and that's Michael Thomas is back. I want to see what that offense is able to do. I know he had a bad first game. I don't think it's going to repeat. I think you're going to see the old Saints offense running the way it's supposed to, and Kamara just going ham. That defense is good. It's going to be a fun game. It's not going to be this, boring snoozer. But with Eckler out too, I don't think Herbert's going to be able to do enough. If Eckler was still in, it'd be a little more difficult to make the choice. But man, that's a loss to football right now, man. He was playing such entertaining. It wasn't just good and productive. It was fun. That dude broke tackles on I forget a ridiculous percentage of his plays, man. Even when he got hurt. Did you see the play he got hurt on? He still, after the injury, he limped and hopped on one foot and fought against two defenders for extra yards. That man is the toughest man. Well, maybe not the toughest, but one of the toughest players in the NFL. And I can't wait for him to come back early from his injury just to show how nitty gritty and tough he really is.
And he obviously, look, he last year, I mean, you think of it when Melvin Gordon was holding out for his contract and like, oh, give me the money, pay me, pay me, pay me.
Awesome
And
Eckler,
Eckler just is like, I don't need to be paid. I'll just run the football. I'll just, run the crap out of the football. And yeah.
Current favorite running back right now. He is the most fun running back to watch. He just makes unbelievable, crazy, fun, cool, and gritty plays. Like there's those players that are really freaky deaky, like Le'Veon Bell in his prime. And then there's like Marshawn Lynch, just I'm gonna tackle you harder than you could tackle me, and just keep moving forward. He does both. Eckler does both. He'll deke a guy out and then crunch past the next man. That is awesome. I freaking hope he comes back full back for it. Like it comes back as soon as possible in full force, ready to play some football again, man. Because I love watching that dude. Either way,
Saints in this
Kamara
one
is still better.
Yeah.
It's like I love Eckler, but I'm still giving Kamara the edge there, and he's not even there. And Jake Kelly, what was his name? Joshua Kelly, thank you. He did, oh god, he looked so bad. He looked so bad in that last game. I know it's just one game.
I still think, I don't think the Saints are going to get to 30 in this one. I don't think, because the Chargers still have a respectful like a respectable defense. So give me, I would personally say Saints 26, LA 17.
Oh, I have 26-20. I thought we were going to pick the save again.
Ooh,
that would have been
almost
wild.
26-17.
All right.
Yeah, and that's it. That's week 5, our week 5 predictions here on Langer at the Mic, our weekly NFL preview show with Ryan Silver. Thanks as always for joining, Ryan. Love having you on the show.
Absolute pleasure as always.
Yes, and also check out Ryan's Facebook where he posts lovely videos of him, singing beautiful songs and playing guitar.
Oh, what a plug.
So be sure to check out Ryan's Facebook. And this has been it's you should it's what's your Instagram again?
I don't have anything posted on it.
You don't, but you should start posting things on there. And I want our viewers to follow you there.
Name. I don't want to share that embarrassing name.
Well, then figure it out, and whenever you're ready, share it with us, and we'll make sure that our listeners and our viewers follow you. But yeah, this has been a Langer at the Mic NFL Week 5 preview. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again next time.
Enjoy not watching football because it gets canceled.